Hello friends, again I am Professor Sanjay Akhade from Electronics Education. This is my official YouTube channel. I welcomes you to my second video. Now in this particular video I am going to introduce you with software eSIM. So let us begin with this. So basically in Google we can search for FOSSI eSIM. So you will get a direct link to the eSIM software download. Click on this. A eSIM page will open. Now here from download section we can download the software. So different versions of software is available on the internet, but currently this is the latest version, eSIM 2.0. So we are using this software. Again, software package is available for Linux as well as for Windows. So obviously we are going to download the package for Windows. Then on this particular website eSIM manual is also available. So I always recommend my students and my friends to download the manual and go through the manual, because manual will give you always give you an extra knowledge about the product that you are using. I have already downloaded this software, so I will just go through the software. So here I have software downloaded. Now to install the software you need to right click the software package and run as an administrator. So you will found that now the software will try to install into your system. So it will ask, click yes, then it will continue with the installation of the software. But basically I have already installed software on my PC, so I will not install it again, but through this process you can install. So this installation will install all the necessary packages to run this particular software. So I will cancel it and I will directly open eSIM software. So eSIM software will now open. Now here basically it will open through a console window. This software also uses Python for data analysis and simulation of the signals output. So again say OK. Now the software is started. So this is an first page of or first window that will appear when the eSIM software is started. So here we have different icons. First we have here new project. So what we will do today, to have circuit design and simulation, I will continue with a simplest circuit in electronics engineering, that is inverting operational amplifier. So actually I have already created this inverting operational amplifier, but I will recreate it. So when I now one more thing we should understand here, when I click, now here I have some projects already performed in this particular software. So when I click on this inverting op amp, simultaneously in this particular window where all commands and all working directories will be displayed. So if it is showing the current project is inverting op amp, means now I can start using this particular this particular project. If it shows something else, now see I have selected this RTC, but still it is showing inverting op amp. So until I double click it, it will not select this particular project. So always remember this. Now let us consider I will start with the new project. I will click here to new project. Here I have open project, here close project, and here help. So first of all we will go with new project. I will click it here. Now I will type the project name, invert op amp. So I will give something different name to this project, because I already have inverting op amp. project. So invert op-amp. Now my project is invert op-amp, so I will click it up here. Now by double clicking this I will select. Now see here, invert op-amp project is selected. Now when this project is selected, I will come here and I will click this button. It shows open schematic. So by clicking this, a schematic window will open. So before that, it will ask for to create the schematic. Say yes. I have clicked it 2 times, so it is showing that it is already open. So I will click it no here. Now see, by clicking this open schematic button, my schematic window is appeared. Now here, this is the schematic window. As usual, here we have different menus: file, edit, view, place, preferences, tools. So almost all the options which are available in the menu are also available alongside the sides of this particular windows. uh, so one by one we will see along with its application. So this is a cursor, so I have this cursor here. Now the beauty is you need not have to select anything, just place the cursor and use your mouse button to zoom and zoom out. So this particular window will be zoom in and zoom out. Now see, you can see there are dots. So these are grid dots which will help you to draw the wires to connect different components. So even these particular dots also can be hidden. So just by clicking here hide grid button, now you will see that there are no dots present again. But basically I always recommend this while doing the schematic of the circuit. Always turn this feature on, so it will help you out to align the components together. Again, these are units to measure the distances, units to measure the distance between the dots and for the circuitry. So here we have inch, here we have millimeter. So by using this cursor, exact position of the component also can be determined. So basically this is also needed under circumstances only, so no need to use it. Now some components comes with the hidden terminals. So by clicking this particular pin button, we can turn on the hidden components also. Again, by clicking this particular we will see that uh, to draw the horizontal wires. Now basically when I draw a wire like this, now see, from this particular point to here, if I want to draw a wire, wire is not selected. Okay, wire is selected now. Okay, first I need to insert the component, but basically only horizontal and vertical wires will be selected if this particular option is selected. If it is deselected, now we can select the wires at any direction. Okay, so I will show you while designing the schematic. Similarly here we have hierarchical components. If you want to arrange, then select component or place component option. Then to place the ground terminal, we can use this button. Place wires, bus. Okay, so again for wires and buses, again by using this component not placed flag is also present in this particular software. So whenever system gives an error about there is no component placed, we can use this flag. These are junction points when multiple wires are coming together. To give the labels, here we have global label. Mostly we are using these global labels. Okay, so hierarchical labels we have created hierarchical sheets. Number of sheets also can be possible to create using this. So again finally we have an option to draw a polygon. So if you want to mark outline for our schematic, we can do this. Similarly while coming here, so new schematic project if you want to create, so we can start project from this window also, and even it can be started from here itself also. Then we have open existing schematic to save the schematic. For page setting, so this is a page basically, so this page also can be set with the help of this button. We can take printout of the schematic, we can take printout of the schematic in plotter, or usually these buttons cut, paste, select, undo, redo. Okay, then we have find and replace, zoom out, okay, rotate, redraw. Okay, so these are different buttons, but when we come to here, we will come here, the most important part of this particular software, where we have a library button. Basically this is a library editor. Here components information, components properties also can be changed. We have library browser, so by clicking this, library will open. Now in this, we can click on the any library part. So in that particular library part available, all components will be shown. And if I select, let us say, a component which is nothing but 120 at mega 128, so this will be at mega 128 uh, microcontrollers library present. So it will show all available pin numbers, and with the help of this we can connect it into the circuit. So similarly we have very large library present. Any particular system we can choose, and in that any particular library we can choose, in that several components are present, so we can see the components here like this. Okay, so after that we have footprints editor. So footprints are also there for the components, so that footprints also can be edited. So we will see it. So we can before that we have to choose the desired footprints for the components. We will do it in another video. Then we have annotation. So for circuit, if you want to give different names to the component automatically, this particular button will help us. Using this button we can check electrical rules, so whether the connections made are correct or not. So system also can detect the errors in the connections, and it can be shown, it can be displayed with the help of this button. Then we have CVPCB button. So basically this particular button is associated with generating .NET files and CRI files. So basically these are two types of files we want to have the design of PCB. So now these netlist net files and CRI files can be generated with the help of this particular button also. Then the billing of the particular components also can be done with the help of this particular button. Now most important part, by using PCB, by using this button we can design a PCB for given circuit. So this will be a back button. So let us start with an inverting op-amp. So for that I will first click to place component. Now place component is already selected, so just click on this workspace. Library will open. Now here we can search for the op-amp. Let us say my op-amp, I know it is named as a 741. so in 741, so basically we will circuit from select the particular op-amp from esim underscore subcircuit. So this is an op-amp package. Now basically this particular package is used for simulation. These are another op-amp packages available, and this is most commonly used op-amp package that we know, that is LM741. So it have different number of pins. So for simulation we will choose this package. We will place it by clicking OK. Now here I have an operational amplifier inserted. Now I want this inverting pin upside and this non-inverting pin down. So what I can do, need not have to select the component, just place the cursor on the component, right click, orientation. So just take a mirror of this. Now see, we are not changing properties of component, we are just changing the display view of the component, so that we can connect the components in the circuit properly. Okay, again I will choose this place component button. Again I will click it here. Now I want three different resistors, one input resistor, second one feedback resistor, and a load resistor. So I will select, I will type here esim underscore r. Now under devices I will found this resistor, so I will just click it here. I will place at the desired place. Again I will click on the blank space, same window will open. Now lastly we have already selected this esim.r. I will click OK again. This will be my input resistor. Similarly I need one more resistor. I will place it here. Now to rotate this resistor vertically, what I will do, again I will place the component here, cursor on the component. I will right click it, then orientation. So here I have rotate clockwise, counterclockwise, or simply I will move cursor on the component and I will press R. So it will rotate my resistor. If I want to move the component, again same method. I will take cursor on the component and just place M. Now component can move. You need not have to hold the M button, just press and release the button. Now whenever I want to place the component, just click it. Now component is placed again. Now this will be the basic components that I'm going to use for the operational amplifier. Now let us say I need an input supply also. So I will click again place component. I will click here. I will type here in filter section esim underscore source. So esim underscore source is given. Now under that we have different sources: AC, DC, XL pulses. So I will simply choose this sine wave as a source. I will click it OK. I will place it here. Now similarly, try to understand, we haven't created any ground point to this particular circuit. So again I can go to place component. I will click here. Again I can type esim underscore source. So here a ground will appear. Okay. So esim power, sorry, we should go under esim power. So we will found here esim ground. So click OK. Now this is my common ground point. Okay, so I need to construct the circuit. So I will choose a wire. Now see, if I choose this particular button, selected this button, then what will happen? I have to go only vertically or only horizontally. Okay, so by deselecting this button, now my wire will be in any direction in this fashion. So now this wire is generated. Now actually this wire is unnecessary. I don't have no need this particular wire, so I can delete it. So simply by just placing my cursor over the wire and pressing delete button. Okay, so I will come here and this can be deleted. Okay, what's the matter? Or simply we can select it like this and place delete button. So delete this particular block. The wire is deleted now. Now similarly connect these wires with each other. So feedback resistor is also now here I have the feedback resistor connected to the output pin. Now output terminal is generated like this and this resistor is connected here. So this non-inverting pin also connected to the ground. Now ground is not connected, so this is the ground connected. Now one more thing, we haven't introduced any power supply to the circuit. As we know, operational amplifier needs uh, dual power supply. So basically this particular package that we have selected it will take plus and minus 12 volt as a power supply by default, so no need to specify for simulation. Okay, now we want to see the waveforms, input waveforms and output waveforms, so we need to introduce a plot here. So similarly again we will go for place component. I will click it here. Now I will write here plot plot. So esim underscores plot. Under this head you will found that there is a plot underscore v1 component, so I will click it OK and I will place it here. Now this particular thing need to be connected here like this. Now again this particular part is unwanted, so I will delete it. So basically it will delete the whole wire, so I can reconnect it in this fashion. Now you can also observe that when multiple points are multiple points are coming to a single point, multiple wires are coming to a single point, a node will be created, a junction will be created, but whereas for single wire we will not have any junction. So plot is connected here. One more plot I'm going to need, so that this particular plot is for output. One more plot I will select, I will place it here, so this will be for input. Again I will connect it to the input part. Now we need to give the labels for these plots, so we will click here, I will click here, I will place it here. So it will ask for a text. Let us say out put, this is the output. So again output we can rotate it like this as per our need. We can move it, so by clicking M I can move it, by clicking R I can rotate it. So now connect this particular part with the output plot. Similarly here also we need one more label. Now this is input, so I will place the input here. Now one more thing we need to understand here. Here I have a small square. Okay, so this square indicates that this component or this particular part is not connected to anywhere. So if I draw a wire like this and I will terminate the wire here, now again a square will appear. It will indicate that this particular wire is not connected to anywhere. Now see, sometime what happens, we create a wire and instead of touching here we terminate the wire just nearby. Now when we zoom out, it appears to be somehow the wire is connected or very near to the wire, so it can create confusion. So if we observe there is a square, means definitely there is not connection present, so just connect it properly. Now a junction point is created. Now see, everything whatever we need in this particular circuit is placed here. We have op-amp, we have resistors, we have sine wave source, and we have plots to observe the waveforms. We need to specify the values of the component. So value of this component is already known, that is it is 741 IC. Okay, but these values should be specified. So just move your mouse cursor over component and press V. So now here edit value field will appear, or simply you can do it by just right clicking the component. You will found that there is a edit component option and edit. So by clicking E we can change the name, and by clicking V we can change the value. So we need to change the value. So let us say I will make it 100. So 100 ohms will be the resistance of this resistor. Secondly, again I can do this for the feedback resistor. I can do this for the feedback resistor. So again right click it. Okay, so there is something error I'm getting, so I will save the project and I will reopen it. So now, yes, so I will come here. Now my cursor is working, so I will press V again and I will put here 200. Now feedback resistor is 200 and input resistor is 100, so the gain will be -2 in case of non-inverting inverting amplifier. Again, now this is an load resistor, so let us keep the value of load to 10 kilo. Okay, now everything is set. There is only one part left now to annotate the particular circuit. So here we can observe R is R, uh, not name is not given here. Similarly, name also is not given here, so there is a question mark. Similarly for V there is also an question mark. For here also we have question mark. So we can just click this annotate button. So now observe here, a question mark will disappear when we do on annotation. So after clicking this, you need to annotate. It will ask for an warning, so just click OK. Now you will see that this V question mark will become V1, U1, R1, R2, R3, V2 in this fashion. So now our circuit is ready to simulate. So before simulating, we need to generate an CIR file, circuit file, so that it can be simulated properly. For that, go to the netlist generation tab. After that, here click on the spice tab, click on default format, then click generate. Now it will ask for a file. Our project name is Inver Opamp, so Inver Opamp.cir file will be generated. So save it. Now the file is saved. Now once file is saved, come to the main window of the software. Now again check here which particular project is selected. So our desired project is selected here. Now below open schematic there is a one more tag which is called convert KiCad to ngSpice tab button. So just click it on. There will be some changes. Now here, as we are intended to observe the waveforms produced due to inverting operational amplifier. So waveforms means there will be and sinusoidal signals in the output and as well as in the input. So to observe the signal, we will click it on transient response, transient analysis type. Then we will scroll down or in this fashion. So for transient analysis, it will give uh, it will ask for the time lapses. So start time, we will choose 0 second. Step time, let us say we will take step at after 10 millisecond, and stop time, let us say we will go with 100 millisecond. So after that, source detail should be inserted. So just click on the source detail. Now offset value, so initial offset value will be 0. Amplitude, I will choose amplitude equal to 2 volts. Frequency for AC, let us say frequency will be equals to 50 Hertz. Delay time will be 0, and dumping factor, as we are considering signal in ideal level, so there will be no dumping factor also. Then ngSpice model, we will check one by one all tabs. So here we don't have anything, so move to next tab. Device modeling, again here we don't have, but definitely we are going to have something in sub circuit. So for sub circuit, we have added a sub circuit which is called sub circuit UA741. So we need to add the library for this sub circuit. So click it on add button. It will take us to library section of the eSIM software. Here uh, in eSIM software there is a folder called SRC. In that one more folder, sub circuit library. So just scroll down, you will find that there are number of libraries available. Here we have library of 74 LM741. Scroll down, here you will find library of UA741. Click OK, select folder. Now everything is okay. Now hit convert button. By converting hitting this particular button, we will forward move towards the simulation of the circuit. So convert it. If everything is okay in the process till now, it will reply with a message: the KiCad to ngSpice conversion is completed successfully. If it is any error or any mistake in the particular process till now, it will not show such a message. It will just replicate with some error, or it will not give anything. Okay, so if it is giving conversion is completed successfully, means we don't have any mistake up to this particular point, so we will click OK. After that, there is a third button here which is called simulation, so we will click on this. Once we click this particular button, a simulation will start. Now see here, simulation have given me the output. Here V out and V in, so both signals, output and input signals, are mentioned. So input signal, for that we can observe that the peak to peak value is about 2 volt, whereas for output the signal is inverted, so signal is out of phase with the input. See, signal is going like this, but here output signal is appearing like this. Again, the magnitude of this particular voltage, here we have for input 2 volts, here we have 4 volts. So in this fashion we can observe the output of the simulated circuit. Okay, so output also can be, now here we will get two separate dialog box, two separate windows for input and output. We can do it in a same window also. So just quit this. Basically this software will generate output in two different formats, one using ngSpice model and second one by using Python. So I will click this ngSpice model. Now here a window will appear where we can observe the outputs at the same time, inputs and output at the same time. Okay, so here we have input, so click it and plot it. So you will found that here we have input signal represented. Now output is the voltage of input is 2 volts. Similarly, we can now click on output button, output we will select this box, and again I will click plot. Now you can see that this red signal is an input having magnitude of 2 volt, whereas we will get this green signal as output, which is exactly out of phase with input with magnitude of 4 volts. So in this fashion, by using software eSIM, we can simulate the signal. Okay, so let us have one more iteration here. What we will do, we will go for changing some parameters. Okay, so I will again click to KiCad to ngSpice converter. Okay, so in transient response, I will not change this particular part, but I can change the input parameters. Let us say now input will be 3 volts, and let us say frequency will be, let us say, only 10 volts. Now everything sub-circuits is already defined, so I will just click on the conversion will be successful. Again I can click on the simulate button. Now you will find that the frequency of the signal is reduced, input frequency. Now frequency is only 10 hertz, so we will get a signal with a larger wavelength, and at the same time we will get the output also. Now here output is exactly opposite phase with the input. Okay, so we can observe the same using another model. So by putting the selecting this input and output and clicking the plot button, you will observe the signal. Here red is an input signal with magnitude of 3 volts, and green is the output with the magnitude of 6 volts. So basically in this form, for this circuit we can have the simulated outputs. Okay, so For this video we will stop here, and in upcoming video we will see basically how this particular circuit can be make ready for designing a PCB, and again how to map the footprints of the circuit. So thank you very much.